What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Hit that like button and take a seat. I'm doing something different. Y'all know I normally don't do my power reviews live. I usually do like a good upload, but I'm home. I ain't promising the whole season gonna be live, but I'm home. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the season premiere of Raising Kanan. So this is season 4, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Now let me tell you something. I don't think it's any secret that this is my favorite installment of all of these 5,000 spinoffs. It's my favorite installment, probably because of the whole nostalgia of it. This episode, Kanan had a Benetton sweatshirt on, and I remember Benetton. My goodness. I remember that perfume that everybody had. That in retrospect, it really did stink. But baby, everybody had to have it. Anyway, I want to say this. Let me start with for the season premiere of season 4. I'm definitely gonna get this episode a 10. I absolutely positively love what they did with this episode. They gave us what we needed, and so for those of you that when y'all watch Raising Kanan, I can't go through the whole thing, but for those of you that watch Raising Kanan, you guys know at the end of last season they brought back Unique. From my understanding, Unique's character was not supposed to come back. From my understanding, when Ronnie boppity bopped Unique, that was supposed to be it. But because of he was such a fan favorite and everybody was complaining and everybody was upset, they brought him back. Now that's my understanding. If it's wrong, y'all tell me it's wrong. I know some of y'all, Xavier and some of the other people, some of y'all are, power, encyclopedias. Okay, Cubstar said that's correct. So the reason why I say this was a perfect way to do that is because if y'all did not intentionally plan to bring Unique back, then the rest of the season was filmed and based off of the fact that Unique wasn't coming back. So because you brought him back, now you do have to sort of almost like play a mind game with us and be like, what you thought you saw, you didn't see. And let me show you what you didn't know, what you didn't see, or what you didn't know. So now you have to tell us what the hell happened. How did we see Unique going down the side of that trash embankment? How did he get help? Who helped him? And where he is now. And then we have to figure out what's his mind, what is his thought process now that all of this has happened in retrospect. What the hell? I'm sorry, y'all. My watch keep going off. Oh, somebody's on my Instagram liking a bunch of pictures. Okay, thank you, boo. But it keeps going. It keeps going off. This one episode fixed some of my criticisms with season 3. And I agree. I think that because although I know I was one of the people that was happy to see Unique back, it definitely left me with a whole lot of questions like, okay, now. All right, now. The other thing I like about this episode is I think they're getting ready to give us some background on the Thomas family that we kind of need. I don't like the fact that it took us until season 4 to get here. And it is only episode 1, so I'm kind of on the fence about that. But I feel like that's where we're getting ready to go. Okay? So let's get into it. I do have some notes. Y'all know that I'm bad with the names. Xavier, you help me out when I get a name wrong, okay? Because my intention, I meant to go back to the IMDb and get everybody's name, but y'all didn't. So the episode picks up where we left off, where we have the whole warehouse of it all with Kanan and Ronnie and his daddy and Rock and Marvin. Child, we got the whole situation going on. And it's sort of immediately you hear Kanan with the voiceover saying, this is where we left off, but we need to go back because now you got to see things from a different perspective. Now you got to pay attention to what we didn't see. And they automatically took us back to, Unique. And Unique was able, okay, so Unique came, I will say this. Even though I'm glad they explained it, baby, I'm still like, ain't no way in hell. But okay, I'm gonna let y'all have it though, Power, because I'm glad I wanted Unique to be back. I'm gonna let y'all. And can I say something? what was the purpose of killing Unique if you was just gonna kill Ronnie? Like, I would have much rather have seen, and I know that's old shit. I know that's going back to last season, but I would much rather have seen the Ronnie Unique push and shove for the rest of the season than for you to kill Unique and then turn around and kill Ronnie. It was like, what was the purpose? But neither here nor there. Let's rewind it. Let me get back to this. So we see that Unique came to consciousness. He was able to climb up the hill and get to a payphone and call. I'm assuming that this is some sort of like security on call situation, ambulance service situation, whatever. He was able to get Unique to a doctor, really a veterinarian. Oh, he had another commitment. Oh, Joey Badass. Is that what happened? Okay. Thank you, boo. Thank you, J Love. He was able to get him to a doctor, which was really a veterinarian, but one of those doctors that won't ask too many questions, So the doctor keeps stressing, and I think it's something we need to pay attention to. The doctor has said multiple times, listen, he really needs to go to a hospital because he's got a very serious brain injury, and he literally will wake up and probably not be the same person. And I feel like they keep stressing that to us, that this person is not going to be the same person. He even used the example of a dog that came into his clinic that had a really bad brain injury and then tried to bite his nurse, and they had to go to the hospital and he had to put the dog down. And old boy was like, okay, but this ain't no dog, so calm down. But I think they're letting us know that that Unique is not going to be the same person we knew Unique to be. I mean, Unique was a killer anyway, but this going to be in a different perspective. Also, and I know y'all really hate to hear this. I know everybody hates this, but also I'm wondering if this is their way of laying the foundation for Breeze. Because the one thing everybody kept saying about Breeze was that he was crazy, he was unhinged, something wasn't right about him, but yet he would sit and watch Jeopardy every day at the same time in the same place, right? I don't know. I know y'all hate it when we always talk about Breeze, but at some point we got to find out who the hell Breeze is, okay? At some point, but neither here nor there. Xavier said once they brought Unique back, they no longer needed Ronnie, and besides, his storyline was only supposed to further divide Kanan and Rock. Yeah, and I guess maybe we just started liking his character, so I feel you on that one. I can feel you on that one. Nikki, you didn't like the season premiere? I absolutely loved it. I loved the season premiere. I feel like it's exactly what we needed with them bringing Unique back. I feel like this is exactly what we needed. Now I still got some criticisms. Well, criticism is a strong word. I still got some questions. But so we saw that with Unique, and old boy is taking care of Unique, but I feel like he's only taking care of Unique because he really wants his damn money. I don't know how much money Unique owe you, bruh, but I still question, like, you doing a lot for what does Unique, how much money does Unique owe you, sir? How much money does Unique owe you that you really going through a whole lot for Unique? Now, Nikki, I do agree with you about the Ronnie storyline, but I said that last season. Like, I feel like the Ronnie storyline was a wasted storyline. I feel like they could have done so much more with Ronnie. I just feel like it was a wasted storyline. Yeah, there was so much more they could have done with Ronnie, and I 100% agree with you on that. Yeah, Early is acting like Unique owe him $1 million. So I don't know what. I mean, it can't be just for the ambulance ride. Like, I feel like maybe Unique owed Early money before. Like, I don't know. But Early is really acting like Unique owe him a grip. But anyway. So, while all of this is going on, we flash back to the club, the night at the club when, oh, child, what's the boy name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Honest, not Honest. Is it? Damn, I should have refreshed my memory on all these damn names. But, when he was performing at the club, so we have Kanan and Jukebox and the girl from Butter, and she's fawning over Famous. Thank you, Xavier. And she's fawning over Jukebox and Unique. I mean, and Kanan is sitting there side-eyeing the situation like, wait a minute. I thought you kind of was feeling me, but you asking about my cousin. What's really going on here? And then you have Jukebox at the bar, and you have Uncle apologizing to Jukebox, and Jukebox is hitting him with the "it's whatever, it's all right, it's whatever, it's all right." You got Marvin at the bar talking to the white lady, and they having a whole conversation about music and this, and this, and this, and that. And Famous is on stage, and everybody's talking about how great Famous is, his stage presence, the song, this, that, the other. But I have a couple of questions. First of all, why is Famous singing that same damn song? Like, why are we acting like I don't remember us being this happy about Famous in this damn song last season. But maybe I missed it. Put it in the chat. Maybe I don't remember. But I don't remember us being this excited about Famous. I mean, I remember everybody being there and all of that, but they really acted like Famous is about to blow up. Like Famous is about to be the next best thing. Right, that's my point, Xavier. It's his only fucking song. Why is this 3 seasons later and this all we got from Famous? Like, I know they built up the whole he becoming a crackhead situation. I get that. It's the second confession song. Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, y'all. Okay, this is just me. These are my thoughts. See, this is what happens when I go live. Y'all get my thoughts while I'm giving y'all the recap. See what I'm saying? So all of that's going on at the club. Now, while this is going on, we got Rock. This is also the same night that Rock got, pulled in by the police, and her attorney is basically saying, look, they really don't have nothing. But in the meantime and in between time, I need you to keep it clean. Like, I need you to clean, just know that when the feds come and knocking, they might have to walk away from you, but they don't have to walk away from your whole organization, and they don't like walking away empty-handed. So keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. But just know that for right now, I think I handled it. Now, it was in this moment that I knew that Rock was pregnant. I knew that Rock was pregnant before the next day. When Rock hit her stomach and was like, ooh, all of a sudden, I just got hungry. Let me go get something. Now, I know a lot of people thought that was just a ploy for her to go give Omar Epps the side eye. Honestly, I think she legitimately all of a sudden had a craving. I really do. Because even old boy was like, well, let me run and get you something. And she was like, because you might come back here with something. I need to see what they got. I knew then. I said, Rock ass is pregnant. And she did run back down there. And she did side-eye him, and he gave her that look like, what? And she gave him that look like, I see you. And he gave her the look like, I see you seeing me. And it was whatever. So the next morning, Rock gets up. She getting ready to get her, her morning situation together, and she throws up. So, of course, we all know that Rock is pregnant. And she is pregnant with Unique's baby. Now, again, to me, this was a wasted storyline. Why do we care that Rock is pregnant if she's just going to turn around and get rid of the baby literally in the same episode? Like, there was no thought. She didn't put no thought into it. She didn't put no, like, I mean, she was at the doctor's office faster than I could get upstairs to my bathroom or something. Like, I didn't understand it. So I felt like this was stupid. I just didn't get it. I just didn't get why they gave us that just to take, like, I could even see if they stretched it out over 2 or 3 episodes and had her pondering back and forth. Like, I could really see, or I could even see if she decided to keep it and then maybe ultimately lost it at the end after she found out Unique was still alive. Like, I just didn't get it. I didn't understand her. That storyline was wasted for me. I would like to keep to his early 20s at least. It's irritating. The ugly teenage stage is getting old. Oh, I totally disagree. The abortion showed Rock's mindset in regards to children. We already know what Rock's mindset is in regards to children. Like, the only thing it did reveal was she said that she had an abortion before, and she said when she was a lot younger. So I'm assuming maybe before Kanan, which would also bring a whole nother question mark into play, like who, what, when, where, how. But again, you're opening the door to a storyline that I don't know if I care about yet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I care that Rock was pregnant at a younger age. Again, I don't, because you haven't connected it to anything, I don't know if it's important. I don't think we needed that to give us a mindset on Rock's thoughts on children. I think we know. But neither here nor there. I don't know how you get that, Xavier, but okay, boo. Xavier said it tells me that Rock only values children if they can do something. Yeah, Nikki, it does sound like maybe she was assaulted in some kind of way. But again, it was pointless if you're not going to give us a roadmap. Like, if you're not going to take it nowhere, it's a wasted storyline, in my opinion. In my opinion. Hey, Bama girl, it's a wasted storyline. But neither here nor there, moving right along. So Tony Danza calls up Marvin because he wants Marvin to take care of something for him. He said, listen, I like how you handled that other situation, you know. And Marvin was like, yeah, you know, it was a few things I could have done different, but overall, yeah, it worked out pretty good. And he wants Marvin to do another job for him. He said, listen, this don't have anything to do with my business with your sister. I want to keep it separate, you know, because what you got going on over there is what we got going on over here. And what we have going over here is what we got going on over here. However, I like how you move. I like how you handle things. I like how you fix situations. So what I need you to do for me is I need you to fix a situation I got going on with my son-in-law. He said, my son-in-law, oh, I'm sorry. He said my son-in-law is, you know, cheating on my daughter. And here's the thing. He wasn't even mad that the son-in-law was cheating on his daughter. He was mad that the son-in-law was being flashy about it and reckless about it and kind of throwing it in his daughter's face. So he kind of wasn't even mad that there was a whole situation there. He was mad at how he was throwing it in his daughter's face. And he said, I need you to just sort of teach him a lesson. Now, and Marvin let him know, look, me and my sister, we don't do the same thing. You know what I mean? You ain't got to go through my sister to get to me. You know, you could talk to me and you're right. We could keep it between us. You know, basically letting him know we're not joined at the hip and I respect those boundaries. The big fish and Marvin setup was dumb too. No way old boy doesn't know Fish is working with the blacks. No way old boy doesn't know Fish is working with I don't understand what you're saying, Nikki. Rock kept Kanan because he was DEF CON's child, and that gave her more street cred. I just don't think that's why she kept Kanan. But again, everybody had their own interpretation. I think she kept Kanan because she wanted to keep Kanan. I think that Rock loves Kanan. Just like she said later on in the episode. She does love Kanan. But I also think that Rock is so hard that I think everybody, like even going back to why her and Kanan had this rift, I don't think that she really, I think in her mind, the ends always justify the means. I just think, and I think that just goes for everybody in her life, whether it's Rock. The only person we have, on a smaller scale, she's done it to Jukebox too. I just think in Rock's mind, she's one of those people that the ends justifies the means with her. And it doesn't mean she don't love you. I think she loves her son. I think she loves her brothers. In her own way, I think she loves her mama. But Rock just don't. Just like she said later on in the episode, she thought that maybe something between her, because when Jukebox was like, did you love Unique? And she was like, I think I could have. Like, I just think she just has such a wall up. You know what I mean? Tony Danza's son-in-law will put it together that Tony sent Marvin after him. Yeah, but what are you going to do about it? I don't know. I'll wait and see how it plays out, but I don't, what are you going to do about it? Okay, so he sent somebody after him. What are you going to do about it? I don't know why this thing looked blurry. It looks real blurry, y'all. I don't know if that's me or y'all, but it looks real blurry. Hold on. So that's a little bit better. Okay. So, Kanan, now this part got on my nerves. Honestly, I would much rather, if they were going to give us the Thomas story, I would rather have seen it in flashbacks. Like, I would have rather seen it in meaningful flashbacks between like with Rock and Marvin and the other brother, especially now with him having his alcoholism situation. I think this would have been a perfect time while he was in rehab for us to get some flashbacks, for him to get to understand how he got here. I don't think I like the fact that they're giving us some of the Thomas background. I don't like how they're doing it, because let's call a thing a thing. Are we really, Lulu, thank you. Are we really supposed to sit here and believe that Kanan, and I know he got the whole probation thing going on, y'all, but can I tell y'all a little something? Baby, I work at a school. And I work at a school with kids on probation. And let me call a thing a thing. They fall through the cracks just like everybody else. Okay. So Kanan gets called into, I guess, the principal's office, the counselor's office, whoever. And basically he's got to write a term paper on his family or he's going to fail. Now, y'all want me to sit here and believe that the only class that Kanan is in danger of failing is English? He going to all his other classes. He doing his work. He passing. Come on, y'all. This is the 1990s. You can't just email in an assignment. You got to really be there to do the work. When have we seen Kanan in school outside of last season when the social workers came through and it was the whole situation with his mama? Like, come on, y'all. I didn't like it because to me it just didn't ring genuine. But neither here nor there. Kanan has to write a term paper on one of his grandparents. And he said that he told the teacher that he would do it, but he didn't want to do it on that topic. And the lady let her know, you don't get to choose the topic. I already talked to your mama, and your mama told me that there are definite people that you have a granddaddy that you can go and get some information on. So go do your damn paper. Kanan goes to Here's what's stupid to me. And I'm glad they didn't do it because honestly, at this point, I don't feel like we need to open up that can of worms. However, to me, the thought process should have been, why you ain't go to DEFCON's family? Sir, that is who the world thinks your daddy is. And I remember you went to the uncle in season 1. Why in the world would you, okay, I'm sorry, Detective Malcolm, thank y'all. Why in the world would you go to the daddy that don't nobody know is supposed to be your daddy to write a whole term paper on his parents when the whole world believes that DEFCON is your damn daddy? Why wouldn't you go back to the uncle that you done already went to jail to visit so you can get enough information to write this bullshit paper that you know you don't want to write? To me, that was stupid. And it was actually stupid writing because it didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. And you went down to his job to do it. Sir, you know where he lives. You know where Detective Malcolm lives. Why wouldn't you go to his house at night where nobody can see you? And basically, he tells you exactly what he should have said was, look, you can't write no paper on my people because somebody might put 2 and 2 and come up with 4 and realize that you're not talking about DEFCON's family. You're talking about somebody else. And God forbid they even connected back to me. Like, sir, what are you doing? Hey, what are you thinking? No, you can't write no paper on my family. And it's probably not a good idea that you just show up at my job. Like, I'm so confusion. Like, I'm like, come on now. Right. First of all, you could have just made some shit up. Like, who was going to know whether you were telling the truth or not? Right, J Love. Going back to season 2, we had a flash of the family story on the beach and nothing else. I'm wondering about that. Yeah, I agree. When she had to go get Kanan from Virginia and they gave us a glimpse, but I was just like, I ain't like it. I'm with you on that one too, J Love. So Kanan spends the rest of this episode interviewing everybody except for his mama about his granddaddy. I got the impression that the granddaddy unalived himself. Am I correct? Because at first I thought he just abandoned the family, but didn't he unalive himself? And it was when Lulu was talking when he said, now I understand why he made the decision he made, because, sometimes it's easy to just not want to be here anymore and take yourself out. That's what made me think, oh, he didn't just abandon the family. He unalived himself. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. That's what I thought. All right. We're going to get back to that. So next we see Jukebox going to dinner at old girl's house with her family. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I felt like this was deja vu. I felt like this was deja vu, y'all. I felt like we were right back where we started. With Jukebox and child, the girl that died. But it was just black people. That's all. It was just black people. So here you are sitting at the dinner table, talking to them, and they're basically like, well, are you going to college? Where are you going to college? I know you want to go to college. Nicole, thank you. You must want to go to college. I mean, you got to go to college. I mean, college. And this singing thing, it's just a little distraction. I mean, it's just something to do with a little yang around the house, but that's not a real career. You've been wanting to go to Spelman your whole life. What do you mean that? And I was just like, why are we back here? Why are you giving us the same storyline? You just switching it up a little bit. Because now, instead of being white, they black. Like, why are you giving us the same storyline? Like, it was just so stupid to me. And again, where are we going with it? But okay. We see Marvin running recognizance on the son-in-law. And yes, he is indeed having an affair that he really just don't care nothing about, right? He don't care about who know, who see, whatever. Eventually Marvin does roll up on him, and out of nowhere, all these white boys show up, and then we got to have the whole, obligatory Italian versus black people, racist comments, racial slurs, yada, yada, yada. Okay. They're setting the stage for the disillusion of Butter, which none of us thought Butter was going nowhere. I mean, I thought that for me, where I thought the Butter storyline was going was that the producer was just going to basically have them sign these contracts and take all their money and take advantage of them from that perspective. That's kind of where I thought they were going with this. But honestly, Butter has taken a backstage to all of this. But I mean, it's only episode 1. It's only episode 1, so we'll see where. But yeah, definitely Butter doesn't. Yeah, I don't think Butter makes it out the group chat, child. I don't think we go further than maybe one single and maybe one video, and that's gonna be that. Yeah, that's gonna be that. I don't think Crystal makes it out of this season, though. Crystal is definitely attaching herself to Kanan more and more, and I can easily see her becoming a casualty of some sort of shootout, overdose, something. I can definitely see her becoming a victim in this situation. But moving on. While all this is going on, Unique is, finally awake, climbing herself out the bed, whatever. He's they showing us the process of Unique, getting himself back together, whatever. He is obsessed with getting revenge, which we understand. I absolutely understand. Your brother basically tried to unalive you and left you out nowhere. Crystal's pregnant, and we know Kanan doesn't have a daughter. Is that what we left off with Crystal? Was she pregnant? Oh yeah, she was. I should have rewatched the season. Yeah, I forgot about that, Xavier. Thank you. Butter ended last season when the feds came to their performance and took Jukebox. Well, yeah, that's probably pretty true too. Yeah, I forgot about Crystal being pregnant. But how do we know it's a girl? I mean, we know that Crystal isn't what's her face's mother. I mean, I know we know that, but how do we know it's a girl? Did I miss something? What did I miss? How do we know it's a girl? Okay. Ain't the other girl pregnant also? She was always vomiting. I don't think she's pregnant. I think either she's nervous or she has an eating disorder. I think either she has like an anxiety, because she always seems to throw up when she's nervous, but it could also be an eating disorder that they just haven't really talked about or addressed. But no, I don't think she's pregnant. Because at that point, if she was pregnant by now, she would be showing, right? Because that was when they first did the audition for Butter. It's got to be at least 4 or 5 months later. So I mean, I don't believe that's it. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so something I was great saying. That's just wishful thinking. I don't think the writers would give Kanan another son. It might confuse viewers. It's not wishful thinking. I don't think. Okay, I don't have wishful thinking about anything. I'm just saying, how do we know it's a girl? That's all I was asking. How do we know it's a girl? I don't listen. Clearly, we know Crystal is not the mama to the son we met in the original Power. We know that, but that doesn't mean that Kanan. That just doesn't mean that there aren't other entanglements that exist. And I'm just wondering how. I'm just asking because I know a lot of y'all watch, read the blogs, and y'all read other stuff that I don't read when it comes to Power. That's why I'm asking. Like, how do we know that it's a girl? Because you said we know he doesn't have a girl, and I'm like, how do we know Crystal's child is a girl? That's what I was asking. But anyway, so we see Kanan to go to visit his grandmother, and she starts telling a story about who his grandfather was. And she said, your brother, your uncles and your mom might have a different story, but here's my story. And she goes to tell us about, how, who his grandparents were and how they were from the South and, what he did and all this other stuff. And again, whatever. We find out from Marvin that he was a prize fighter and that Marvin felt like when the dad did what he did, it made Marvin be the daddy of the house, the man of the house, how he basically said his childhood ended when the father did what he did and how he grew up. He was like, can you imagine growing up and watching your daddy basically beat people's ass? You know what I'm saying? Hey, KK, hey, boo. Oh, that's just your wishful thinking. I got you, Xavier. My bad. I didn't read it right. I'm sorry, Xavier. I misread what you said, boo. I misread what you said. I'm so sorry. I thought you were saying, I misread what you said. And so then we talked to Lulu, and Lulu, because we now know that Lulu was in that whole depression and, oh, woe is me. My life is so horrible. The world is so terrible kind of thing. With that being said, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite with what I'm about to say. I know what I'm getting ready to say is going to sound like a hypocrite. I like the fact that they're giving us some background on the Thomas family. I just don't care about the information they gave us. Does that make sense? I want us to get the background. Like, I want us to find out who this man was and how this family became the way this family became and how the grandmother, like, I want that information. I don't think I cared about him being a prize fighter. I just don't think I don't think I cared. I want to know, was he in the life of crime? How was that connected to the people we've already met? How is that connected to Rock and Marvin and Lulu? Like, I want to know how the Thomas empire was built. Did it start with the daddy or did it start with Marvin? Like, that's what I kind of need to know. And I feel like you giving us information we wanted to know, but it's not the information that we asked y'all for. You're giving us information you think we should know, but it's not what we asked for. That's the better way of me saying that. It's not what we asked for. Okay. With that being said, Jukebox picks up Rock from her procedure, and that's when they have the whole conversation. But Rock, and this is how I know Rock need a friend. This how I know Rock need a friend. Why are you telling Jukebox all your business? Why are you telling Jukebox all your business? I don't know. Jukebox needed to know all of that. Like, you could have just said, had her pick you up from the hospital and said you was having a little procedure. Did you have to tell her all of that? What the procedure was and who was the dad? I mean, she's still a high school student. This how I know Rock need a girlfriend. Because that just wasn't information to be putting on. Because here's my problem with well, I got a lot of problems with Rock. But here's one of my biggest problems with Rock. Rock puts these heavy burdens on these kids, and then she don't understand why they react the way that they react. Why is my camera so blurry? Yeah, this camera. I just feel like it's blurry. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. I feel like it was so blurry. I feel like it was really blurry. Anyway, they really do treat Jukebox, and I get it that she got an old soul, but they really do treat her like she's an old lady, and I just think it's not fair. But again, that's what Rock does, which is why her and Kanan are where they are, because you put these heavy burdens on these kids. But moving right along. So we see that Unique is finally, he can eat, solid food, and he's really plotting and planning, and he's trying to get out there. And Early is telling him, look, bruh, you probably need to chill out, because right now you got a superpower. Everybody thinks that you're dead. So you're a ghost. You can move in silence. You can move in the shadows, and you can really peep what's going on. You can really figure out what's going on. Like, I really think you need to sit back and chill and give yourself time to process and figure out what's really going on. And he was like, I don't need to know what's going on. I know that Ronnie did this. Now, here's where Early got into Unique's head, because before that, Unique was like this. He was like, Ronnie tried to kill me, and I need my get back. But Ronnie had to throw out there and say, Early had to say, but who had Ronnie's back that made him feel so comfortable for him to come for you? Now, I don't know who this Early person is, but in my mind, I was like, Ronnie is crazy. And Unique, that Ronnie is crazy. You was talking crazy to Ronnie before he picked up that damn pole and bust you upside the head. Like, you already know what happened. And I know that they're trying to play up this whole, he crazy, he's got a brain injury, he's not that same person. But before we get to that part, let's focus right here. You know what it was. But you didn't let this man get in your head now. And now he got you like, no, you need to figure out why he felt so comfortable coming for you. He felt comfortable coming for you because he's crazy. I mean, he's crazy. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's all. Right. Everything is not a conspiracy. You was talking shit to Ronnie. Ronnie didn't appreciate it. Ronnie picked up the closest thing he had to him, and he bust you upside the head. Ronnie didn't give a damn that you were his brother. He felt disrespected, and he was going to teach you a lesson. He wanted you out the way anyway. Let's just be honest. To be fair, Early told him that he was jumping to a lot of... He did, but he'd already put the... You're right, Cub Star. He told him that he did tell him that. But that was after he already put the seed in his head to say who was helping him and made him feel comfortable enough to come for you. You see what I'm saying? But you are right. You are absolutely correct. He did tell him. So he said, well, I need you to run some reconnaissance. I need you to go out and see what all is going on. So Early goes out and he follows Rock, and he comes back and he lets him know, hey, Pink Petals, and he lets him know that Rock is back in the game, and she's operating out of the Chinese store, which is his old spot, that Ronnie and Kanan are running together. And child, he told him something else about the Thomas family. But basically from that, Unique draws the conclusion of, well, she told me she was getting out the game. So not only did she not get out the game, but she working with Ronnie. Basically, in his mind, she teamed up with Ronnie to kill him so she could take over his work. And now Kanan and Ronnie are working together, and it must be all connected to Rock. Now I have a question. I need all of my power experts to help me. Cub Star, Xavier, I need my power experts to help me. Nicole, didn't Unique know that Rock and Kanan were having problems last season? Didn't Unique know that Rock and Kanan were not on the same page last season? I'm almost certain he knew that. But now in your mind, he was like, Kanan don't take a piss without Rock's permission. You knew, because you were up in the house and you knew that Kanan wasn't up in the house. Because you was sleeping in the house with Rock. And again, my question is, right, Xavier, my question now is, so how much of this is his whole, what up, princess? Hey, boo. How much of this is like what we were told is going to be his brain injury versus how much of it is that he really thinks is real? He think it was all a setup from the beginning. Damn, he thinks the whole thing. So that's how we get to what we saw in the trailer where Unique is coming for Rock. Because now Unique has made up in his mind that Rock is the enemy. Rock was coming for him, and that Ronnie tried to kill him based off of Rock. Like, that's where we get to this, all of this, right? Now, in the meantime and in between time, guess who else? Guess who done fucking showed up? Jess done showed up. Y'all remember Jess, Lulu's ex-girlfriend, the sister of Famous's sister? She done showed up down to the club. Y'all. He said she did this to other men. Now, that is true. He did say that. He did say he did this to other men, that this is Rock's pattern. He did say that. He did say that. But excuse me. Hello. Hey, I got a question. Girl, how you just gonna show up down to the club and act like you didn't sleep, that you didn't cheat on Lulu, and you didn't leave Lulu hanging to go move to California? Like, I was like, she bold as hell to pop up in here like she ain't do nothing. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, and then she gonna hit Lulu with the, I miss you, Lou. I tell people all the time, I brag about you all the time. And then she does finally tell him, stop blaming yourself for stuff that wasn't your fault. Look, now that's the best thing she could have said to Lulu. Okay, but all the rest of that, girl, you could have kept that shit, because you really walked up in here acting like you didn't sleep on that, cheat on that man and all that. Like, you really act like none of that happened. You really walked up in here on some kumbaya type shit. And I was like, what? Rock tells Kanan, I love you no matter what you do. You can't make me not love you. And it looked like Kanan did have like a little soft minute. It's probably only going to last for a minute, because Rock going to probably turn around and do something next week to piss him off. But he did have like a little soft minute where it looked like it looked like it got to him a little bit. It looked like it kind of got to him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But he's stubborn, child. So, you know. Marvin then rolled up on the son-in-law and beat his ass. I mean, whatever. And like you said, I'm sure by now he knows that somebody sent him. And you're right. It probably won't take them long. It probably won't take him long to connect the dots to who sent him. But I guess from my mindset, I don't know. I just don't see where it's an issue. I don't know. Because I feel like he's not going to retaliate against his brother-in-law. Against his father-in-law. Because he already know what that's going to be. And remember, it's the mob. There's certain codes in the mob. Like, he couldn't send one of his people after his son-in-law, because I'm feeling like maybe his son-in-law is a made man and he can't touch him, even though he's doing his, like, I feel like he went outside of the family. You know, when I say family, I mean like the mafia family, because because of the rules of the mafia, he can't do it. I don't think it was ever a situation where it was supposed to be a secret. I think he absolutely wants to let him know, look, you're not going to be disrespecting my daughter. Right. That's right. So I don't think it matters that he's going to figure out that Marvin, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's a big deal. I think the only reason why he went outside of the family is because of the law, the rules, he can't touch him. Right, Cub Star? Yeah, that's what he said. So I don't think it matters. We see Nicole, Nikki, you still here, boo? Son-in-law's a made man. Right, that's what it was. That's what I thought it was. Okay. So then we see Jukebox meeting up with Nicole's dad. He's still her biggest cheerleader. He's here for her. and she asked him about the military, and he very politely lets her know that he don't think the military is a place for a lesbian. And he was very nice about it. But he let her know that he does not think that the military is a place for a lesbian, and that she needs to focus on her talent, focus on butter, focus on singing. That going into the military is probably not a good decision for her. And that's what he told her. That's what he tried to tell her. Then we see Kanan with his workers. They're revolting. They say, you working us too hard. You ain't paying us enough. Crystal tries to give Kanan some advice on how to run a business, because she said her daddy got a business, and her daddy told her, you know, basically keep the people happy, so to speak. But then Kanan gets an emergency text. And it ends up being his grandmama. We find out she died. Well, she has cancer. I ain't gonna say she dying, but she has kidney cancer. And again, I'm wondering where we're going with the grandmother being sick type of thing. Again, here we go again with adults putting these burdens on kids. She tells him, look, don't tell nobody. And again, I have to wonder, why are we putting these adult expectations on these children? Literally, his grandmother is telling him, I have cancer, but I don't want you to tell your mama or your uncles. They don't know, and don't tell them. Again, y'all, we take the drug dealing out of it. Take the Kanan being a spoiled brat out of it. Here we are with probably like a 17-year-old child, 17, 18, give or take a year, whatever. And you are literally saying, don't tell your mother and your uncles that their mother is dying. I don't understand why we keep putting these adult burdens on these kids, but neither here nor there, child. It is what it is, child. So, you know. We see Marvin double back to Tony Danza, to the Fish King, and lets him know it's done. He was like, yeah, you did a really good job. He already done went on a cruise with my daughter, you know, and he basically lets him know, look, we'll do business. Like, I like it. I like doing business with you, and we'll do business again. Again, we see where Unique is in the shadows. He's following his brother. He's looking at Lulu. Looked like one night he was getting ready to roll up on Lulu and unalive him. But then Lulu got saved because he was about to drive drunk, and the bar owner came out and was like, yeah, no, you're not about to do that. Not on my watch. We see Rock have to meet with the social worker post procedure, and she's Rock, child. Rock is Rock, being Rock, doing what Rock does. Okay. And then, of course, we get to the flashback. We take us back to where we started with Ronnie and Detective Malcolm being unalived in the warehouse, and Unique sort of standing over them. So we're right back where we started, ladies and gentlemen. Now, honestly, again, y'all know when it comes to power, we are very critical of things. Do I think that there was some things that could have been taken out? Absolutely, y'all. There were some things that could have taken out, because some of that shit was like, what are we doing here? Why are we here? What are we doing? However, on the flip side of that, I do think it was a good season premiere. I love the fact that they went back and gave us stuff that we needed, because if they had picked up where they left off, everybody would be asking, how in the world did Unique survive? Who came and got him? How did it happen? So I do think we needed that. Now, some of the other stuff they gave us, but I do think we needed that. So for me, it was a really good, I do think it was a good premiere, personally. They must be leaving Easter eggs for later. And they may very well be. And that's the other thing about Power. Sometimes it's a nothing burger in Power. And then sometimes it's like, oh, they did say da-da-da-da-da. And that's the problem. You never know which is which. They never know which is which. That's the Thomas generational curse. They put too much pressure on the children. Joyce did it to Rock. Rock did it to Kanan. Kanan did it to Sean. I mean, Kanan, yeah, did it to Sean. You know what? That is true. When you put it like that, Xavier, you're absolutely correct. You would think that after seeing Ronnie and Juliana, Unique would realize it's Ronnie's supply. My cuz held that secret of grandma. At one moment, it hit the fan. Yeah, I just think that's a lot to put on a child. Again, I know we talking about a TV show and all of that, but I just think that's a lot. All right, you guys. That is it. Like I said, I can't promise we're going to go live every episode because I just don't know if I'm going to have the time every weekend to do it. But I did have time today. So I figured let's go live for the season premiere. I will see you guys next week. I will talk to y'all later. Mwah! Peace. Well, I won't see y'all next week, but I mean for power next week. Y'all know what I'm saying. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.